Normal engineer is boring for me. Imagine having to maintain a sentry for all this time, just for you to turn your back for a millisecond, and a spy comes over and saps it all. That's why all my homies use Battle Engineer. Battle Engineer is another different playstyle for TF2, just like with the Demo Knight and the Trolldier, it changes what most people think the Engineer is. Most people seem to think for Engineer, all you do is you build a fucking sentry, you keep slamming that motherfucker till you die, rinse, repeat like a gaming t-shirt. Now that is boring. I'm not playing Tamagotchi, I'm trying to have fun. And that's where this specific playstyle comes in. In games, personally, I love to go fast as fuck. I love to be aggressive as hell, and that's why I can't play most Battle Royale games, because my brain requires that constant fucking dopamine. And Battle Engineer is basically Scout, but with a sentry and the ability to teleport behind the enemy. But Stainful, I hear you cry. How do I Battle Engineer? Well, Battle Engineer almost always needs the Gunslinger. The Gunslinger is Engineer's weirdest wrench. So what the Gunslinger does is it replaces Engineer's usual sentry with a small, tiny little mini sentry. So what does this mini sentry do, I hear you cry? It deals a lot less damage than the regular sentry. So why the hell would you want something that deals like 0 damage? One word: speed. A mini sentry can be put up so much faster than a regular level 3 sentry, and it only costs 100 metal. This means that for the low price of 200 metal, you can build a sentry and a dispenser. So what are the drawbacks of the mini sentry? Well, maybe the fact that it can't be upgraded and that terrible damage. But I tell you what, can you do this with a level 3 sentry? Because the mini sentry is so small, you can put it in spots where the enemy won't know where it is. Stuff like this spot, and this spot, and this spot, and this spot, and this spot can all be done with the mini sentry, but not the level 3 sentry. And if you hit an enemy 3 times with your Gunslinger, you'll deal a guaranteed critical hit, and you get an extra 25 health, bringing your base health up to 150, which means you're not going to die as much. Now for the shotguns for Battle Engineer. Well, that's kind of up for debate. You see, there's 2 different ways you can play Battle Engineer. There's regular aggression, then there is maximum aggression. This is the Widowmaker. The Widowmaker is one of those weapons in TF2 that rewards skill, just like the Bizarre Bargain. And if you've used the Widowmaker before, you know it is one of the most satisfying weapons in TF2. That just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
constant hits without stopping or reloading. The Widowmaker works like this. It replaces your ammo for metal, meaning if you shoot your enemies good, you're not gonna have to reload. Alright, that all sounds good, but then you realize you have to hit your shots, and it uses metal as ammo. If you're good, the Widowmaker is almost always a straight upgrade, except when the enemy is more than like 3 feet away from you. But if you don't think you're that good at the game, just pick up the stock shotgun, because it just works. As for all the other shotguns, well, the Panic Attack also works pretty well because you're going to be up in the enemy's faces. And the Frontier Justice crits are some of the most satisfying things in this game. However, the Frontier Justice only really works if you use your sentry for your main damage output. If you use your shotgun more than your sentry, you might as well just pick up the 3 other shotguns instead. So what about the secondaries? Engineer has 3 secondaries: the Wrangler, the Short Circuit, and the Pistol. The pistol it's the fucking pistol. Do you need me to explain, like, goddamn damage numbers, DPS values, damage fall off, all that shit? It shoots the enemy, deals damage, good at long range if you can't hit enemies with your shotgun, yada yada. The Short Circuit and the Wrangler, on the other hand, are a lot more interesting. Firstly, the Wrangler. Now, the Wrangler is pretty overpowered for a normal engineer, since it gives you more effective health for your sentry, and deals a lot more damage when you aim yourself rather than letting the sentry aim for you. The drawbacks of the Wrangler are pretty much if you switch that shit, it'll be inactive more than the TF2 developers for a short period of time. But it still has the shield, and the mini sentry plus the Wrangler deals 100 damage per second. Now that is pretty damn good, but for Battle Engineer, where the mini sentry is more of a backup tool and an annoyance for the enemy team instead of your main damage output, you really don't want to be focusing on dealing sentry damage when you can just use your shotgun to shoot the enemy as well. And since you can control your sentry, the Wrangler allows you to do something called sentry jumping. Now this is only really good with the level 3 sentry since it has the rockets and that literally sends you flying, but it still kind of works with the mini sentry. However, you're not going to be getting into those really sneaky spots. And the last secondary is the short circuit. The short circuit is weird. Basically, the short circuit deals like 10 damage at really close range, and like the Widowmaker, it uses metal as ammo. However, if you right click it, it fires a projectile which absorbs other projectiles like rockets. And this is the main draw of the short circuit. Having a weapon which can just get rid of soldier rockets or demo pipes is awesome. I love just switching to the short circuit and fucking yeeting a projectile if it gets close to me. But for secondaries, it's really up to you to what you pick, and it really depends how you play the game. Would you rather deal more damage or would you rather survive more? That's pretty much the reason you'd pick either one. Now let's get back to being a sneaky little engineer of your teleporters. Grunkle Dane said it best when he said that teleporters win games. But also, teleporters let you become super sneaky. If you put your teleporter in a spot they won't expect or won't check to destroy, you can get behind the enemy lines and just wreak havoc. I seriously doubt the enemy team will be checking out all of these spots. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Is Battle Engineer even viable? And man, who cares? Battle Engineer is engineer but on crack, and I love it. Who cares if the mini sentry's DPS values are slightly different than the fucking regular sentry? The fun value is like 1,000 times more. And that's what TF2 is about, having fun. Battle Engineer gives us a window into why video games need loadouts. The beauty of having so many great TF2 weapons and a loadout system is that you can mix and match to fit how you want to play the class. Turning a class into the opposite of what they're meant to be without making them underpowered beyond belief is something only TF2 can do. And it does it fantastically. So go try out Battle Engineering. See for yourself how insane this feels. You can become really aggressive with the Widowmaker, or you can just try and survive and support your team. Thanks for watching. If you want updates on videos, you can go to the garbage website that is Twitter and follow me for funny tweets such as these. Hey, some of them are funny, and you can also join my Discord if you want to. I decided to start a new style with my videos, and I'm probably going to do this instead of the other style or act all professional and shit, because I'm not a professional person. I like to have fun, and making these videos is fun. Other than that, I've been Stainful, you've been you, well hopefully.